Chatting with me now on Chaos TV is the amazing, the man, the myth, the legend, Daniel Pascoe. Raising money for the Huntington's Disease Association for the second year in a row, Daniel is taking on the challenge of 28 minutes exercise every day in February. After an incredible fundraising effort last year, he's doing it all again. Thanks for joining us today, Dan.
Thank you so much. What a lovely introduction as well. The man, the myth, the legend. That's never happened before. I appreciate it.
You know what? When you've heard of someone for so many months and never actually had the chance to talk to them, you know, they become that myth, that legend. And you know, you're doing something very legendary in this now. So let's just get
apparently
right
I'm a glutton for punishment doing it again.
Well, firstly, obviously, we know that the Huntington's Disease Association is incredibly close to you. If you wouldn't mind, could you tell us about that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've got a long history with HDA. I mean, my dad had Huntington's disease and was supported by the HDA. My gran, who unfortunately I never met, she also had Huntington's as well. So this is a charity that's quite dear to me. And if I'm going to be quite candid and quite honest here, the mental effects and physical effects of Huntington's disease go quite hand in hand. And unfortunately, my dad ended his own life. And we think it was due to the mental effects of Huntington's disease. And it's what's known as a rare disease. So not often will you hear about it on television or radio or books or anything like that. So what we're trying to do is just get the message out as loud as we can. And I apologise for my cat.
I mean, the cat's doing a very good job of getting the message out, so don't silence that if that's the way of doing it. Well, let's talk about a bit more about the impact it has on the person's life. Obviously, the symptoms, I believe, can be quite broad. Could you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so the best way I can describe what Huntington's is, it's a neurodegenerative disease, which is quite hard to say. But basically, the way I describe it is, imagine you've got a house and you're leaving and you turn each and every light off bit by bit by bit as you leave. Essentially, that's what Huntington's is. It affects your mental, your cognitive, your physical abilities and slowly starts to switch them off bit by bit. It traditionally comes into effect in your 40s. Well, that's just a ballpark figure. It can happen at any time. And unfortunately, there is no cure or treatment, so it is fatal. So obviously, you've told us how it's not curable or really treatable, but how does one go about diagnosing Huntington's disease? Is there a test that could be done, or is it harder than that? So you are 50-50 risk of getting Huntington's if your parent has it. It's a genetic condition. So if your father or your mother has it, then you are automatically at 50-50 risk, which myself, I am at 50-50 risk. You can get a test to work out whether you have it or not, and you can do that from any age, but you do have to go through a series of counselling to make sure you're mentally prepared to take on the knowledge that you might have it. My own decision at the moment is that I don't want to be tested because I feel like it would personally dictate how I live my life, and I'm not sure I want Huntington's disease to be in charge of my life. I want me to be in charge of my own life, if that makes sense. But when it comes to having children, then maybe I'd reconsider. But you can get tested. You just have to go to the NHS and discuss it with your GP, and then they will refer you to on, and then you get to the right people, and you can find out that way.
I can imagine that would be a hard decision to make, and I see your point as well, not wanting to let it rule your life or dictate your life. And in the most positive way I can try and say this, it's really interesting to hear more about this disease, as I can't say I ever do hear much about it. We've obviously talked about it being rare. Could you talk a little bit more about quite how rare it is, maybe compared to other things?
Yeah, well, I mean, the statistic I can go with off the top of my head is that I think there's 8,000 people in the UK that have it, which is a small number in comparison to the whole country. But the debilitating effect that it has means that it does need to have a little bit more attention. That's exactly what we're trying to do with HD 28 for 28, is not only raise funds which go towards care, goes towards research as well, but it also gets the word out there. We are seeing more and more sort of media recognition. It's been in a lot of scripts. I think it was in an episode of Holby City recently, and a few different areas like that. So the word is slowly spreading, and things are getting a bit more positive in the world of research as well. We've had a recent breakthrough which has actually given us hope of treatment for the first time, which is something in my lifetime we've never had. So it's exciting time to sort of be raising money and to be working with a charity like HTA, because, you know, there might be positive things on the horizon, which is such a wonderful thing to say in an interview, because it's true.
That is really, really good to hear, because I've known of Huntington's disease for myself for quite some time, but I've always known it as something that is incurable. So to know that there's that breakthrough, fantastic news. Now, let's go to last year's challenge, where you raised well over your target, and obviously you're taking it on again this year. Why have you decided to do it all again in 2022?
Because I like to punish myself, apparently, Pudge. I'm not satisfied with doing it once. Apparently, I have to do it twice. No, the reason I'm doing it again was it was such a success last year. You know, it's just an idea I had with mates down the pub. That was it. Simply put, I said it might be fun to do this. I wonder if a few people would join me, and it just went really well. People were really keen on it. I had a lot of people coming up to me afterwards saying, you know what, it actually gave me a bit of motivation to go outside and to go and exercise, which sometimes people lack at that sort of time of the year. It's a bit cold, it's a bit miserable outside. And it was just a real positive community that was built around it as well. People were sharing their runs, their walks, you know, going to the gym, yoga, all kinds of stuff. And everyone was sort of, you know, spurring each other on, it was just lovely to see. So I think the reason I wanted to do it again was it was a success. I enjoyed it so much. I mean, ask me in 28 days whether I enjoy it as much this year. But I enjoyed it so much once it was done that I just thought, and people kept asking me, what are you doing this year? What are you doing this year? So I thought, let's do it again. Why not?
Fantastic. Now, talking of last year, what exercises did you do? And going on to this year, are you switching it up at all?
Yeah, so I decided to run every day last year. That was my challenge. Personally, I thought, you know, I can't expect everybody to exercise every day and then not do anything myself. That was challenging. So I ran every day last year, rain, shine, storm, night, day. And I managed to clock over something like 104 miles, which
wow.
I thought the same, considering my legs certainly felt it afterwards. But this year, I'm going to mix it up and try as many different things as I can. So I might do a bit of running still. I might walk. I might try yoga, which would be interesting, because if you see me, I'm 6'2". I don't think I should be doing yoga. I might try a bit of kickboxing. I might try everything.
I like the idea of the kickboxing, actually. That sounds quite good. But yeah, why not? It sounds very interesting, sounds very fun, and what a great cause you're doing it for. So as well as donating, anyone can take part in this challenge and do their bit of exercise, no matter what. Is that correct?
That's exactly it as well. I wanted to make this a fundraiser which was inclusive, so anyone could join in. You know, walking is completely valid form of exercise. Chair dancing is a completely valid form of exercise. Looking at you, Pudge. So you can do you can do whatever you want. I wanted people to get involved, and there's a wonderful community around it. All you've got to do at the end of each day is share what you've done, maybe a picture or a video. You don't have to, but it's always nice to see what people have been doing. Use the hashtag HD28 for 28, and then just get involved with the community, share, help raise some money. It's just a lovely time, really, Pudge.
Well, Dan, I've just started going to the gym myself. I'm aching like mad from it. I'll try and get a picture, a really embarrassing picture, just for you up there, just so I can show you that I'm doing a little bit, try and help out. I'm going to think of you now when I am regretting all of my life decisions, doing a bit of running in there. It's absolutely amazing stuff that you're doing. Now, we had a little chat just now about the link, which I believe has changed this year.
Only ever so slightly. It was last year justgiving.com/HD28 for 28, but apparently you can't reuse that and reset it. So what it is this year is justgiving.com/HD28 for 28, the letters FOR, dash 2022.
Fantastic. Really amazing stuff, Dan. Obviously, please pass on our best to Mia as well. We're sending all our support from the team here at Chaos with you all the way. Great to talk with you today, finally, for the first time. We've now got a short... Thank you very much, mate. We've now got a short video, actually, from last year's challenge. Ooh. Let's take a look.
shout out to Dan Pascoe for hitting the £2,000 mark on the HD 28 for 28 fundraiser.
Maybe I can thank you later for what you're doing now. 'Cause it feels like...
Hey! The first 28 minutes done. It's now quite wet and dark, so I'm glad to be going back in. Gonna pop some roasties on. Hashtag HD28 for 28!
Donate now!
Ow, my arm!
Good energy, you got that good energy. Good energy, you got that good energy. Good energy, you got that good energy. Good energy.